The spectator chooses any card they like. The magician rips up the spectator's card and places a single corner onto the table. He takes out a lemon and then throws the cards into the lemon. The spectator then cuts into the lemon, and not only is their card inside, their card has been completely restored and the torn corner perfectly matches. Here is the full performance. The magician begins with a deck of cards. He spreads through the deck, turning the cards over to show clearly that every one is different. He then gives the deck a few casual cuts to mix everything up even more, and he then asks the spectator to say stop wherever they like. He riffles down the edge of the pack, and the spectator calls out stop. They land on the Queen of Spades. The magician then fairly removes the Queen, and right in front of the spectator's eyes, cleanly rips it into several pieces. There's no switches, there's no funny moves. Everything here looks open, honest, and completely fair. He then places a single corner onto the table, and he tells the spectator to watch that very carefully and never let that corner leave his sight. Next, he places the remaining torn pieces into his hand, and then he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a lemon. The magician then picks up the lemon and impossibly throws the cards into the lemon. The spectator is stunned because the torn pieces that were in the magician's hand a moment ago have completely vanished. The magician simply says, "They're inside the lemon." He then hands the spectator a knife, and he says, "I don't want to touch the lemon again." The spectator picks up the lemon and the knife, and slowly and cleanly cuts into the lemon for the first time, right down the center. They then open the lemon, and inside are the torn pieces of card all rolled up. But now something impossible has happened. The pieces are no longer torn. They've fully restored themselves back into the Queen of Spades that the spectator freely chose earlier. Well, almost complete, because there's one missing corner, and it's the piece that has been sitting on the table from the very beginning. The magician picks up the final corner and lines it up, and it's a perfect match. Everything is clean, everything is examinable, and the restoration is undeniable. Hey everyone, Oscar Owen here, and welcome back to the channel. So today you're going to learn the famous card in lemon trick. Now this is easily one of the greatest card tricks ever created, and if you want to learn more tricks that are also really good, just tricks that are too good to reveal on YouTube, then please join my course Card Magic Pro, and inside I'll show you how to go from beginner to pro in card magic. So I'll leave a link in the description to that. Anyway, let's learn the secret to this amazing effect. For this trick, you need two identical cards. In this example, we're going to be using two 7 of spades. To begin, we need to prepare the gimmick. Start by tearing a corner off one of the 7 of spades. Now this will be the corner that you later on restore, so tear it cleanly. Next, make a very small ball of double-sided tape and roll it up, basically as shown on camera. And what we're going to do is place this tape onto the back of the uncut 7 of spades. The next thing you need to do is take the torn corner and stick it to the double-sided tape. This creates a very convincingly complete 7 of spades, but with a detachable corner that we'll come back to later. So set that card aside for now. Step 2 is preparing the card inside the lemon. The next thing we want to do is take the other 7 of spades, the one that's missing the corner, and fold it up really tightly. Roll it into the smallest cylinder you can by compressing the fibers as much as possible. So you just want to roll it up as shown and make it really, really tight. Now you can basically take your lemon, and what you need to do is remove the apex, which is the small tip at the end where the stem meets the fruit. So get your knife and just cleanly remove or slice off that little apex. And once the apex is removed, you need to get a long, blunt instrument, something like a chopstick or skewer would do really well, or any thin tool, and just press it down into the lemon. And what you're going to be doing is creating a narrow, deep tunnel that the folded card can then be pushed into. Slide the folded card into the lemon until it's completely concealed, and then once it's fully inside, place the apex back on top. If you press really firmly, this will just seal it itself and you can basically get ready to do the trick from here. But if you want to be extra careful, you can add a tiny bit of glue for security, and then you can basically pass this lemon around to be, inspected, and it just looks completely untouched and completely normal. At this point, you can also place your thumb over the end of the lemon and then just wash it if there's any juice or residue lying around. So take the Gimmick 7 of spades, and this is the one with the taped on corner, and place it onto the bottom of the deck. Now take any random card, in this case the 7 of hearts, and just place it beneath it. Because of this, you can cleanly show the top and bottom cards, and the duplicate 7 of spades is never exposed. Your goal is simply to get the 7 of spades to the bottom of the deck. Now in the performance we did it like this. What we did was you got a pinky break under the bottom card. We then swang cut the top portion and deposited the 7 of hearts from the break onto the bottom portion. Then cut the bottom portion twice, and this brings the 7 of spades to the bottom. But honestly, if that's too much and you're a complete beginner, you can simply start with the 7 of spades on the bottom of the deck. Step 4 is forcing the card. From here, swing cut some cards and deposit the bottom card, which is the 7 of spades, onto the middle packet, keeping a pinky break above it, so it should look like this. Then ask the spectator to say stop, and regardless of where they stop, you're going to perform what is known as a riffle force. This basically means no matter where they say stop, you pick the deck up from the break that you were holding with your little finger, and this means they will always choose the 7 of spades. So it doesn't matter where they say stop, near the top, near the bottom, you just break the cards from the break on your little finger and they're going to select the 7 of spades. From here, you can display this to the spectator, and because the gimmicked card is stuck to the back, everything looks completely normal. Step number 5 is tearing the card. So what you want to do is rotate the card and begin tearing the corner. And you want to start with the same corner where the gimmick is. It's vital that you keep track of the gimmick piece whilst you tear up the card. So keep it at the very back and then tear it into multiple pieces, keeping the gimmick behind the torn packet. You can very openly show the torn pieces now. Place the gimmicked card with the taped on corner removed onto the table. Immediately remove the double-sided tape from the corner so nothing suspicious remains. Place that loose corner on the table and show it fairly. Part 6 is the vanish. Place the rest of the torn pieces into finger palm. This is basically where they just sit at the base of your fingers and they're hidden behind your relaxed curled fingers. Now perform what is known as a false transfer. Pretend to toss the torn pieces into your other hand, but you just actually retain them in finger palm. So this is just a really convincing way to pretend to take something when you don't really do it. Once you've apparently taken the cards, reach into your pocket and grab the lemon. As you do this, simply drop the hidden torn pieces into your pocket, and grabbing the lemon is the perfect justification to put your hand into your pocket. So you want to start the trick with the lemon in your pocket. Then pretend to throw the invisible cards into the lemon. Obviously there's nothing in your hand, so at this point, it really just looks as if you've thrown the cards into the lemon and something impossible has happened. Now from here, everything else is presentation because all the sleights have happened. Step 7, the reveal. Give the spectator the knife. Tell them to carefully cut into the lemon, and they want to do this slowly because they may find something interesting. They'll cut open the lemon and they will find the folded card inside. Tell them to remove the folded card and they'll react as they see it's the 7 of spades. But then say it's not just any 7 of spades, it's the one that they ripped up earlier, but it's magically been restored. They're going to be amazed by this, but your proof that it's the same 7 of spades as earlier is you pick up the corner that's been on the table the entire time, and then match it perfectly to the card that has been restored in the lemon. This is the perfect restoration and the perfect impossibility. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely check out Card Magic Pro if you want to learn more amazing magic tricks that are simply too good to reveal on YouTube. I'll see you there.